Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. Wanted to share and talk through one of my favorite swings of all time. Very happy to have helped my client Ihl-sung create the swing. Some of you guys have seen his lesson video, but I really want to go over things that he does really well that you guys could potentially incorporate into your own swings to help you swing with more flow, with more speed, with more consistency. I think Ihl-sung does a really good job of blending power and predictability and flow all in the same package. So I'm just going to show you guys his 6-iron swing first. I'm going to go over the 6-iron and driver with a little bit of foresight data. So this is the 6-iron swing that he has here. He's swinging Srixon 965 blades. I think they're C-taper 130Xs, which are pretty stout, but he swings really, really fast. So that's literally him swinging at stock speed, I would say. It looks very slow, but he's actually going at it pretty hard. Let's say 80-90% or so. But what happens is, and what a lot of people falsely believe is, you swing smooth to hit it far. Although it looks smooth, he's not swinging smooth at all. He's engaging his legs, he's engaging his muscles, he's tightening up his muscles, he's to help him generate force into the club head. The intention is very hard. The intention is not to swing smoothly, but the overall result at the end of the day, because he's well sequenced, is what gives you the very smooth looking look. So this 6-iron, I think he carries it 200. I want to say pretty. Let me just check the data quickly. He carries a 6-iron 207. So 6-iron 144 ball speed, 19.5 launch. 57 spin, 5700 spin, 207 carry. So quite good. Not much curvature as you guys can see. It actually descends a little bit, almost too steep. If he was more dialed in with his irons, it could maybe go a little bit further. But it's descending pretty steeply, which is great for a 6-iron, 207 carry. This thing is stopping on a dime. So back to looking at the swing. I'm going to show you guys a face-on view. Excuse the darker video just because it's on my iPad. I actually just recently got a new iPad, which I will be using in the future. So when I start doing these analysis videos, the videos should be brighter at the very least. So you guys can see that's two swings there. What was that? Let me see if the data comes up there. Let's see. Oh, so that shot was the screenshot that I just showed, as you guys can see. Again, great flow, looks very smooth. Let me rewind. There we go. And you can see both the face-on and the down the line hits were little push draws that didn't overcurve. So I'm gonna play the down the line one more time for you guys at normal speed. And you can see little push draws that just don't curve much, which I love. So things that he does really, really well, okay? You guys know I'm a big fan of width, depth, and height of the hands in the backswing, which Ihlsung has. His hands are high. Okay, his hands are high, as you guys can see. Rewind a couple frames. His hands are high, as you guys can see. His hands are deep behind his shoulders. And he's pretty wide there, okay? His elbow flies out a little bit, which I really don't mind for him because he does a really good job of creating power and predictability. So he has all that. He has the three things I really like: height, depth, and width. From the face-on view, you can see how wide he is. His hands stay left of his head. Hands are nice and high, and arm and hand staying left of his head. On the face-on view, just shows that he doesn't get his elbows trapped behind his rib cage too much. If he gets his elbow trapped behind his rib cage, his hands will probably look more like here behind his head, which I don't really like. So he has a lot of great width here. So transitioning into the downswing, you can see a really good leg move here. Squats and rotates hard, okay? Which is actually one of the things that helps him lead into that is you guys would notice that his head actually rises a bit in the backswing, which I'm okay with because he squats back down really nicely. So I love that rise, that flow, that unweighting of the left foot of his lead foot so that he's loading a lot into the inside right heel, and he squats and rotates into his right leg and then pushes back up to help him propel his body and arms through the ball. And as you guys can see, because he's well sequenced, and I've done a lot of drills with him where he feels like he shallows and down hinges early in the downswing, which for a lot of you guys, traditionally that would be known as casting or early release. But in reality, there is none of that because he releases all his speed at the right time now so that when he finishes, you can see it's a very soft and controlled finish. Because he's let all the speed out at the ball, there's no residual speed to pull his club into a vicious finish. Some of you guys may see or experience yourself when you finish, it's very vicious, it bounces around, it's very abrupt because you guys haven't released the energy in time. You guys hold on to the angles in an effort to time the release to get more power, but that's not how you get real power. Real power is leveraging the sequence properly, by using your legs properly, by combining the vertical forces into the ground with the rotational to help you sling your body and arms and club into the ball, which Ihlsung does very well. Soft finish. If we look at the face-on view, same thing. If I put a line on top of his head, you can see he rises a little bit as he loads the inside right heel. Let me just put a line on by his right hip. Okay, so he loads, very nice center, no sway, just turns into that line as he rises a bit. And he squats and rotates really nicely. What I really like is there's not much lateral movement in that first transition bit. Many people struggle with or have been taught to slide the lateral bump with the hips. I don't really like that because the more lateral you go, the less vertical you can get. And the vertical is always going to be a stronger tool for you to get speed. So you can see Ihlsung loads in the inside right heel and turns in the line on his right hip, rises, squats and rotate basically within those lines, and then he pushes back up and hip extends past that line, which is what we want. We don't want your hips going past that line on your left hip too early. We want down and around with a rotate, squat and rotate, and then pushes back up. You can see the hip extension, squeezes his glutes, squeezes his core, and you can see again, soft finish, because he lets go of all that speed at the ball, which I really, really like. Okay, this is one of the swings I truly love. I show a lot of my clients as an inspiration to work towards. Love this guy. And again, like we started with, if you guys have seen some of the previous videos, he was a beginner golf swing guy. Strong, pretty strong, but beginner golf swing. Driver was 145 ball speed. 6-iron was like 115, I want to say. So not great, but now it's 144, and this driver is 180 plus. So moving into the driver video now, and again, sorry for the dark videos. It's gonna get better as I start using my new iPad. So you can see, actually, I'm just gonna put the screen for you guys on the left. His data, 181 ball speed. Club speed was probably a little bit high just because of the driver, because he hit that really good. Efficiency wouldn't have been 1.38, but gives you an idea of how good he hits it. So 181 ball speed, love that. 16 launch, 16 spin, really high launch, high spin, high launch, low spin here, maxing it out for distance. But you can see he doesn't curve it much at all, which is very, very good. Hits it on a rope. So if I show you guys how it flows, you guys are gonna see very similar movement as the iron. This down the line view is actually not as good as a face-on view because the face-on view lesson was actually one lesson after. For some reason, I don't have a down the line video for that lesson. I wish I did. But you guys can see a lot of the same stuff with the slight rise, height, depth, width, and he squats and rotates hard and pushes back up as he rotates. And even with a driver swinging in at 125 miles an hour and over, his finish is actually still soft and in control. Love that. You can see that ball take off very tight off the line. It doesn't really curve much. Face on video on the right, I love. You can see he recoils a little bit, but it's not a out of control recoil. I had him go out a little bit harder just to see what we can get out of him. But again, if I put the indicator as line on the head, line on the right hip, and the left hip, you guys can see he turns and loads into the right line, rises a little bit. I'm okay with the head moving off the ball a bit, especially with the driver. And he squats and rotates hard within those lines. I love that. Maximizes the vertical aspect of the swing. Again, no lateral. And then as he pushes back up and hip extends is when his hips go past that left line a little bit. I love that. If you're trying to maximize rotation with power, the better you are with the vertical and rotational aspects of your swing of the leg work and not get much lateral outside those lines, you're probably going to be able to deliver, make a movement that helps you rotate well, push off the ground well, which generally will help you deliver very predictable face into the club because you're rotating well, but also getting power because you're using your legs well. So love that in full speed. Love that swing. You guys can see this thing does not move at 181 ball speed. So this is why I really like the swing. This was 181 ball speed. This was the screenshot I took of him. Yeah, 181. I'll show you guys this one more time. Really like, honestly, Ihlsung swing is really, I love his swing. Love the flow, love the structure, love the sequencing, feet to legs, to core, to torso, to arms, to hands, to club. Great release of the club into a soft finish. And you can see shots that just don't curve, especially at a high speed like he is. So hopefully this video helps give you guys an idea of how to create predictable speed. Again, vertical and rotational, not much lateral. And this is why I stress backswing so much, just making a good backswing to give yourself the best chance at making a good downswing. So hope this makes sense. Any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'm going to be posting a lot more of these videos with more data in this coming few months. Hopefully I got big plans to make my channel better for you guys, to help you guys improve and play better golf and enjoy golf more. I can't really say too much at the moment, but it's going to be really good if things pan out, and I'm going to do my best to make it pan out. So any questions, let me know, and I'll answer them as fast as I can. Thanks, guys.